All right, what's up everybody? So a little bit of a different video today. Earlier today, Steve Shaw put out a great video about the natural limit. Mainly, he was talking about how he gets comments and he sees people talking about how him talking about the speculation or the idea that there is a natural limit is limiting lifters and holding them back. This, to me, in my experience, shows these people that are talking about a natural limit being limiting or a natural limit being a negative thing that holds people back shows me that these people don't have a respect for natural bodybuilding, and maybe they have a little bit of a delusional take on what actually happens in natural lifting. And to me, there's nothing wrong with this. These people just haven't been humbled by natural bodybuilding yet. And I know this because I've been there. I've been one of these people that wasn't impressed by natural physiques. I've been at a point where I hadn't been humbled yet. I was making great noob gains and I didn't have the respect for lifting that I should have had. And this is something that is earned with time and it's earned with sweat in the gym. Basically what I'm trying to say here is you get the ball rolling in the gym, you make pretty good gains. You see these like steroid freaks. Most of the physiques that you see when you first start lifting on social media are well beyond the natural limit. So you get this distorted view on what's possible, what a good physique is, what a not so good physique is, and you just lose respect for natural lifting because, one, on paper, it's not as impressive as what these steroid freaks do, and you haven't been humbled yet because you haven't run into any plateaus or anything. So to me, when I see these comments, in most cases, these are just people that haven't been humbled by natural bodybuilding yet. So when that time comes, when you do run into a plateau and everything that you think you know about lifting magically doesn't work anymore because you don't know as much as you think you do, that's when reality sets in. And guess what helps with this? An appreciation for the elite natural physiques. Guess how you develop that appreciation? From respecting the natural limit. So this video isn't on a debate of whether there is a hard limit or the purpose of the limit or whatever, but we're talking about the respect that we have to regain for these natural physiques. And this is something that I've been humbled throughout my time of natural bodybuilding. I've ran into multiple plateaus. It's taken me years of hard work, of learning more than I ever thought I would have needed to learn, training harder than I ever thought I'd have to train to get to where I am today. And I'm at a point where I've got a pretty good physique. I'm not going to say I'm at the natural limit. I think that would be ridiculous because obviously I'm not. But I'm at a point where I'm good enough to get some views, use my physique and my knowledge of lifting to build my own career full time. I'm perfectly fine with you saying that I don't have a good physique or saying that I'm not the goal physique you want to go beyond to me. That's totally fine. All I'm using myself as an example for is to say, I'm good enough to do this as a job, to coach people, to make videos on, and do this full time, and have multiple people respect what I do, and I'm not even close to the natural limit. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So when I look at myself, I love my physique. I think I look great. I've earned such a good appreciation for it because of how hard it's been to get here. I look at myself in the mirror, I look awesome. I look pretty jacked. Maybe I'm not everybody's goal physique, but I think I look great. And to know that I'm so happy with how I look, and to know how much muscle I've put on my frame over the past 7 years, and to still see that to get to like the natural limit, or what we're assuming is the natural limit right now, I'm not an expert on this, the people like, say, Steve Reeves, who have 18-inch arms, we can talk about height all we want. I'm not the tallest guy, but for the example of this, my arms are 16 3/4, maybe a hair above that since I haven't measured in a couple months. His arms were 18 inches. You guys think I look great? I'm not even close to the natural limit. I still have over an inch to gain on my arms, and arguably at this point, it's not like I have lagging arms. I think they hang with the rest of my physique. I still have a ways to go. So this is one of those cases where you don't realize how far the natural limit actually is. And in the vast majority of cases, you simply do not have to worry about it, because by the time you get to that natural limit, if you do, which the vast majority of lifters never get to, you will be an entirely different person physically and mentally. Psychologically, you will be completely different. There's no way you can go from some beginner lifter that has 12, 13-inch arms and a vague understanding of lifting to some jacked natural lifter with 17.5-inch arms, and you're just a natural freak, and you're still complaining and confused about the natural limit. At that point, it almost becomes a good thing because you've put in all of these things, all this work, and learned so much about lifting that you have a different perspective. It's entirely different. Think about it this way. You won't be the same person when you get to that limit. You're constantly changing throughout. Every plateau that you go through gives you more of an appreciation. When you're in the gym and let's say you're in a good training phase and you're making noob gains, it's so easy to let that go to your head. This is a bad thing because you're not humbled. It's good in the short term because you can keep making gains, which is great. But at the same time, that's not going to last forever. When you run into these plateaus, you start to question more things. You lose that arrogance, you lose the ego, and that gives you that appreciation that you need to become a successful lifter and to get potentially to that natural limit. So I'm not going to run this video on too long. Those are my first kind of thoughts and feedback to this video. Steve has been somebody that was a massive inspiration to me, no pun intended, when I was a beginner lifter. Somebody like him, a role model in the community to be able to help me set these goals and to watch his videos talking about training methods and getting to 18-inch arms or whatever it was back when I was a beginner. That's the optimism that I needed as a younger kid to learn how to lift. And it's channels like him and Alex Leonidas back when I was younger that gave me that optimism and that fuel to become the lifter that I am now. And I'm not even close to the natural limit. You'd be shocked at what you can do naturally. These physiques that have 18-inch arms, these guys that have these massive arms and 29-inch legs and whatnot, it's far more impressive than you think. And you learn that more and more the longer you lift. So to sum this video up, by the time you get to that natural limit, you'll be an entirely different person with an entirely different appreciation for natural bodybuilding. Trust that that will happen. Allow yourself to be humbled, make good gains in the meantime, and you'll be a more complete person. With the physical, it comes the spiritual and the psychological. So that's all I got to say.